Welcome to the Open Books Podcast, where we discuss all things going on in the real estate industry, helping you take the road less traveled to real estate success, guiding you to the top 10%. I am your co-host, Curtis Haddock, alongside my co-hosts, Brooke Massey and Casey Tudor.
What up?
It's good to be here this morning with you guys.
Yeah, we made it. We made it in through all the treacherous traffic
Yeah,
that Oklahoma provides.
it's crazy out there. It's a
It's
crazy
like
world.
hit or miss, though, to be quite honest. Oklahoma's always been like that.
You know,
it's
it
like,
is.
It's 8 o'clock.
It's like, no, because even when I was driving all over the country for my previous career, and it'd be like, okay, I'm either getting at this store in this town at this time, or I'm going to be 20 minutes late because of traffic.
Well, that's probably because you were getting McDonald's biscuits and gravy if you were late anywhere, I would guess.
Oh, no, I left enough time to get McDonald's biscuits and gravy.
She
and
says
then,
that, but why doesn't she do that now?
I don't know. But
I
what
do
I
that
do
now
know,
because now I don't have a time where someone tells me to stop working, so I just keep working. So
Yeah, we work
every once in a while, I have
what
to
I
figure out
do
where
know,
to eat.
guys, this
Yeah,
morning
we
is
work
this
all day.
episode is brought to you by McDonald's.
No, it's Whack-Donald's or Wick-Donald's.
What?
Did you not see that?
No, what happened?
Well, this one doesn't have it, but yeah, there was like
They
it was
screwed up their
trending.
cups?
No, McDonald's they printed all of their logos upside down and called it Wick-Donald's.
Why?
I don't know, for funny.
They
But
did it
everyone
for
was
funny or
posting all
it
about
was a mistake?
No, I think it was funny.
What if it was a mistake, but some awesome, smart PR person was like, let's run with this and save some money.
It's like a publicity.
And then you got a
stunt.
guy like me, how dare you ruin my logo?
Yeah,
And then it makes him like $10 extra million.
Right.
I don't see any agent making us an extra $10 million. So
Yeah.
for
I'm
gonna
now,
turn
And
our
don't even
logo.
and don't even try because
Yeah.
I don't think
because
there's
it's
a
already
way.
happened. So if it was going to work, it was going to work by now.
Exactly, and not enough people. Well, we have to
Oh,
wait till we have enough
goodness.
people posting about
That's
it.
true.
So,
Well, let's talk about something like I don't know, useful today.
That's called the icebreaker. That's the warm up talk.
The warm up.
Yeah.
yeah, what are we talking about today,
Well, why is it called an
guys?
icebreaker if they're warming up?
That's a
Because
great question.
the warmth broke the ice, I guess.
There
I
you,
don't know.
oh. You know, I actually was thinking that answer in my head, like right before he said it, and he said it, and now he gets the credit. Damn it!
You're welcome.
Slow.
But I was thinking I just couldn't put the words together, so I just wanted to throw that out there.
We'll give you half credit.
I don't.
That's fine.
Nah, I don't need any credit at all. I'm not the credit type.
Yeah. I'm not in school anymore.
Exactly.
You're not in school?
No, I don't need credit.
Well, now you're just the teacher.
Okay, so what are we talking about today?
Yeah, Brick, what did you decide we were going to talk about on the way in this morning?
On the way in, on my path in, I figured, why don't we figure out what the path is to 100K a year? Or
What does
more?
that
Why-
even mean?
Means how do you get up and going and put your head
Get up
down?
and going.
Yep.
Okay.
Let
So
me
you get in your
finish.
car,
Yeah.
you put your head down.
Yeah. Get up
Okay.
and going. Put your head down.
Get up and go, I think, would be what you should say. Get up
I
and
say,
go.
Oh,
I
okay,
say,
whatever.
I say, wake up and put your pants on first.
That works too.
Okay. So do that.
Okay.
And then next thing is put a shirt on. And then do
Optional.
all these activities that we're about to say.
My body, my choice.
You do whatever you want. You know what? I tell everyone you can sell houses anyway. You can dress in a suit or your birthday suit or whatever. Somebody's going to buy from you.
Oh man, I would love to see the first person sell a house in their birthday suit.
There's probably like nudist colonies,
I bet there
somewhere.
is.
Do they sell real
maybe.
estate in nudist colonies?
Well, if it
There has to be
Yeah.
nudist communities.
Sure.
are there,
I bet
mean,
there is.
I always think of it like a nudist colony as like just a spot on the beach.
But but that's why I'm wondering if they have like an actual like community they like live in, like a
don't know.
house.
I don't know.
And then like on the
Camps
beach.
that you can go to. I know someone who did it.
Well, are
Anyways.
they discriminating against non-nudists?
Maybe.
I don't know. I guess the nudist.
I think
is
the
not a
non-nudists
it's not a
are fine
protected-
not going.
I think so too. Well, and non-nudist is not a protected class. Thought you guys, we should educate you guys on the law here too today. Okay, so the
Anyways,
the
path to 100K.
What is 100? What is okay? Keep going.
I was just going to say a path to 100K in real estate. What do you actually need to do? And so I put some
Well,
bullet
before you
points.
go on that, what is why 100K?
Yeah, what's that?
You know, that was going to be my
number?
question.
Okay.
Why is it? Why not 50K? Why not 500K? Why not $1 million?
To me, this is like the starting point. And probably the good. Most people, I think, in society, and we've talked about it before, that it's probably a little bit more now than anything. And I was actually thinking about this morning.
You would think, but it hasn't really changed,
Like
Brooke.
getting to 100K,
The
like that's where
100K
people
is
want
still
to
like
get
the
to.
standard.
Okay.
Even though cost of living has like gone up tremendously. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't go as far, but it's still kind of that goal because
It's still that.
it's 6 figures, so you busted over that 5 figures, and there takes a certain mindset and a certain work ethic. Like you see agents do this all the time where they go sell a house or they get one client, they focus on that client, and they can't do anything else with their life until that house
Yes.
closes. And then if it busts, then they start over. And those agents sell maybe 6, 7 houses a year if they, in their mind, work their ass off.
Yes.
But you have to do so much more than that. You have to compound that, and you have to stack those things. And,
Well,
And it's hard. We've
and
talked.
when you do that, you'll make 100K.
well,
Yeah.
I was gonna say you can't, and you can't just go get an entry level job or a job that's gonna just pay you 100K still.
No.
Like that's not like the norm entry. Are you looking up nudist colonies?
Yeah,
right
no, I was
now?
gonna say. No, so I was gonna
I
say.
just looked over and I just saw nudist colony sells $32 million.
Yeah,
something. I
yeah,
don't
no,
know.
I was about to bring it up.
There's a whole
You're
new niche.
taking my joke.
Sorry.
When you guys say how do you make real estate or 100K in real estate, I say, well, you list this nudist colony for $32.8
The whole
million
colony is for sale?
Well,
With the people in it
no,
and
it's
everything?
you can buy the people.
it's a resort.
Isn't that slavery?
Oh, it's a resort.
32.8 million.
Well, I'm like, if
Seller
you're gonna buy a nudist
fear
resort, I would
close.
hope that the nudes come with it.
Oh, dude, this is absolutely genius. Read, guys.
Right?
What'd you say?
No,
What did you
not
say?
slavery.
Yeah, no. I'm saying if you're gonna like put up $32.8 million for a nudist resort, I would hope that the nudes come with it.
I
Like,
think.
you
I
know,
think
that the
They
nudes
will.
come with it.
I
Yeah.
think what
It's
you
income
mean
producing
is,
property.
Like, you hope it comes like with a P&L and like
Yeah, of
clientele.
course it does.
Yeah. Well,
course it does.
In reality, if that's what it is, like the nudists are gonna keep going to it. As long you're the business owner, you make it what you want.
I mean,
you
how
know?
many nudist colonies are there in the world?
Probably a lot. I'll look that up next. But listen to this, Brooke. Listen to this. This is hilarious. This is actually good journalism. Nudist resort list for $32.8 million. Sellers fear close-minded buyers. But clothes as in what you wear.
Right. That's kind of what I was saying. The business owner can decide
Yeah.
what to do with it. So hopefully the buyer is not
crying.
close-minded.
Oh, is that what you said?
I mean, kind of. I didn't know that's what the topic. I didn't know that's what the headline was saying. But
I was when you're joking, I was reading and I was trying to like make sense of
I was
it.
basically saying that the whoever buys it gets to decide whether they keep it a nudist resort or not because they're
Right.
the owner, right? And so yeah, I can see why the colony is hoping that the buyer is not close-minded. Oh, that's so funny.
15% of the population are interested or do nudist activities.
We should just.
Oh,
start
that's
doing-
it?
a lot. I think that's a
I
lot.
thought it'd be 100% if it was going to be a resort.
No. In the U.S.
Oh, in the U.S.
yeah,
okay.
just people in
We
general.
should just start every
This
podcast with some
episode
random ass shit like
has
this.
shifted
But
to
real estate related.
Yes.
nudist colony real estate.
What is the top listing this week?
That's
In the
awesome.
nudist colonies.
Okay, I'm done with that. Back to the podcast.
Okay, road to 100K.
Well, that's not the first thing, but putting on good clothes, I think, is a
Yeah.
good step to get to.
Oh
the
yeah,
top
back
100.
to how you wake up in the morning.
Yeah,
Put your
no,
clothes
yeah,
on.
no.
Definitely put
Unless
your
you're-
pants and your shirt
Unless
on.
you're one of the 15% of the nudists.
Yeah, we don't discriminate.
Right.
I think there's a nudist colony here in Oklahoma too. I'm not 100%
The
sure.
se-
sure there is.
The sellers ask that you please remove your clothes before entering the home.
To get the full feel of what
but don't forget to put
has
your
to
mask
offer.
and your sock booties on.
I was
Right.
curious. You put your booties on them.
God.
Anyways, well.
Can you
I
get
kinda-
on with it?
I'm completely
Yeah, I
lost
was like,
now.
I kind of want to talk about like the bullet points that I have, and then
No, I
let's
think
talk about them all.
I think they're good. Yeah. So you want to go through all of them? Like
Yeah, I
just
just want
list
to.
them?
Yeah, I want to list them and
Okay.
say them
And then
because I
we'll-
think they're all important, and then we'll kind of dive into them.
I think I'm good with that.
Okay.
We'll be quiet.
Okay. First thing.
Will we though? We'll try.
First thing, and I say this is for. This is why you guys are on your own couch. The first thing, and this is whether you're a new agent or if you're an agent.
Sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
Hopefully
We're
people
going to
are
lose
watching.
listeners that way.
Doing what?
Lip
Anyway.
smacks.
Well, I was drinking my
Microphone
coffee, and I swallowed right in the mouth. I was like, no, I didn't go, but keep going.
Okay. This doesn't matter if you're a brand
Is
new
this what
agent.
you're talking about?
Yes.
I say
Oh
things
my gosh, I
sometimes.
can't even talk.
I say
So,
things sometimes.
so
and then-
after the podcast last time, Kurt said, I don't even feel like I got a word in. I went back and looked at the audio. You still talked 50% of the time.
well then, but but when I said I didn't feel like I got a word in, I probably was only 40%.
No, you're 50%. Usually you're more.
That 10%
well,
matters.
I'm going to show you some
No,
audios.
I wasn't talking the whole podcast. When I said that, it was for that I was trying to say something about one of the topics, and I. Whenever I say that, you got to see how long I didn't talk before that moment.
Okay.
That's what you need to
I
look
will
at.
say there
I
was-
will agree. Yes, I do open my mouth a lot. I even told April that. So, and April was like, I'm not surprised. Are you okay? Like,
Brick, are you
tell me
trying
something I don't know.
Are you trying to say something?
Yeah, I'm trying to
let's
coach
go.
the people that you
We're
know
still
are
on our
following.
introduction.
Now let's get through it.
People
Let's
are
get
probably
through
still
it.
laughing.
We hope, or they turned it off.
Maybe. Anyways, so the first one, it doesn't matter if you're a new agent or somebody that's trying to gain momentum. But get organized and reach out to your sphere, I think is very important. And I have some notes that I want to talk on that. Training and prospecting.
Okay.
I'm done with you guys. Be consistent. Stay organized in a fast-paced world.
Yeah.
Take your finances seriously.
Ooh,
Big one.
And
Big one.
try all money-making activities in
Yeah.
real estate.
Got to do them all.
How many are there?
A bazillion.
Well, we'll go through it. I mean, actually, I will say you don't have to try all. Try all high converting
Yes.
money making activities.
Yeah.
And all different. Like you got to do multiple money making activities to find the one that's going to stick for you, the one or two.
Yeah.
And if you're going to like become somebody when you build a true business in real estate, like if you want to be a consistent 100K earner, well, not 100K earner, but if you want to get to $1 million, then you have to have a team or a downline of people. And that means you're going to have to coach people or mentor people. And you want to have done the things that you're going to tell people to do.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
there's only so much time, and yes, you need a team to expand, but you can't do that until you have the 6 figures at minimum coming in.
Right.
Probably at least 2 or 300K before you can start really hiring out.
I think you can start building
I mean, you can
before.
do that at any level, right? You
Yeah.
can always get assistant pay like little bits here and there, but as far as like running an actual team, providing jobs, you have to. I think there's a sweet spot of how many
to do a
income-
traditional team, yes.
Well, what I'm getting at is you have to have a certain amount of income producing activities that you go after and not any more than that because you only have so much time and you have to master those things. What we've seen that people get in trouble over is either doing too many things or
yeah.
just one because we've seen a lot of agents this year getting out of the business or last year and or
year.
losing their houses or their nice cars that they had because the one way that they've always been successful, even if it's been since the 90s that's worked, it did not work last year.
Yeah.
And then what did they do? They didn't know what to do, and they're so set in their ways,
Well,
they
that's-
didn't know how to change it.
That's kind of a good leeway going into the first topic because we're kind of at the bottom is get organized and reach out to your sphere, which I found same thing. Most people that, hit it hard in real estate, they kind of just focus on their sphere. And then there's some people that don't focus on their sphere.
Well, the sphere didn't work as good, I feel like, last year because people had refinanced and, when the rates are at 3%, and a lot of your sphere did that, and now they're not moving, so it's more life event stuff. So
Well,
that's,
But in
that might have
general-
been your sphere,
Yeah.
but that
Right.
doesn't translate to everyone's sphere because there were still a lot of sales, so
Right.
Yeah, well-
those were part of somebody's
Well,
sphere.
and the point of this is the path to 100K. So
Right.
what do you
Yes.
need to do? So if you are a new agent or you're trying to gain momentum, that's one of the things you need to do first because those are people that know you. They
Right.
trust you. It's your family, it's your friends. There's even people that you worked with that you don't
Yeah.
even know that you influenced. So just reach out
and that's
to them.
lifelong too. That doesn't stop as
Yes,
long as you're in the
never.
business. That's always going. Whereas open houses and for sale by owners, you could pick up and stop whenever.
You got to be friends with
Well,
everybody.
where I
I
was-
would argue. Oh, go ahead.
Where I
sorry.
was getting at though was if your sphere wasn't cutting it last year, that's when you need to go out, get out in front of people that are trying to sell right now, which are expireds and for sale by
Right.
owners.
And that's what I was going to say.
They
Your
open
your
houses.
sphere of influence should constantly be growing. Your sphere of influence is not just people that you have met in the past. It's everybody that you have met in the past and everybody that you're going to meet today going forward. You are bringing them into your sphere. You got to do both things.
Yeah.
To have your sphere of influence have an impact for you, because if you only focus, I saw something that said that a lot of people in real estate, there's a lot of people that don't go with somebody that they know or their family or somebody that they trust because they don't want them to know their finances, or they don't want to ruin the relationship, or they know your past and they know that you just got into real estate. What do you mean you're gonna be the expert on this large transaction? And so they want to see you do something before they trust you to handle the transaction.
For them to trust you, you still have to reach out and make that connection and then warm it up.
100%. But that's why my argument is you have to do both, because you don't know who in your sphere is going to treat you that way, and you also don't know who in your sphere is like Brooks, my girl, no matter what. I mean, there's probably some people that like you guys are so close that like they're going to use you, like even if you didn't reach out to them. They're the people that are like, I'm using you when it's
those are the true homies, man.
Yeah.
Right. And if you guys think about it, one of the things that we teach is you're really looking for a sphere of 25 what we call referral partners.
Yes.
That's what and a referral partner is not a vendor or people that you send your people to. It's people who are going to refer you 1 or 2 deals a year, every single year, no matter what.
Or just talk about you in general.
Yes, they're your biggest fans, your biggest advocate. And if your family member is not sending you 1 or 2 deals a year,
Get a new family.
they're not considered your sphere. Like I can tell you, April will produce one or for those of you who don't know, April's my wife. She, because of her relationships and her connections through work, through her own sphere, she gets me anywhere from, I would say, 2 to 4 deals a year, just because of people in her sphere reach out to her and say, hey, will your husband do this and that? And she sends them to me and I take care of the rest. Right? That's a referral partner.
Yeah.
If they're not doing that, they're not a referral partner. You got to find somebody who will, when they hear, even if they're like, I have some people that just because of how the deal went, it was just a smooth transaction. I saved them from losing their dream home. They will always refer people to me, no matter what. And they're like, they will be in the grocery store and they'll be in line and somebody will start talking about real estate and they'll just all of a sudden they'll be like, hey, you guys are in the market to sell? You got to call my agent. And they don't know them, they're just meeting them for the first time. Those are the people that you want in your sphere.
And there are those people out there 100%. Because like I have the same thing. I have a girl and she just loves everything I do. She follows me on social media. We're old friends, but I don't talk to her a ton. I helped her. I actually I had to refer her out, and then I ended up helping her because the agent that I referred her out to didn't do crap really. But because I was there and helped her so much, she texts me all the time. Hey, I just sent someone your phone number.
I love that.
Thank you. And I probably get 4 or 5 times a year those messages.
Now, those are the people you better give a Christmas card to.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Not more than
just
that.
Gonna say?
I was going to say a gift card, a thank you.
Not client giant.
So one thing that I see realtors do that I believe is a mistake is when they finally start to get to a position where they have money to like spend on advertising or promoting themselves, they're spending it, they're putting it in areas that promote their services to strangers. And I think that's the worst thing you can do, because you're looking for your sphere of influence has the biggest impact on your business.
Or people people that just you did transactions with.
But that's part of your sphere now. You
Yeah,
know?
good point.
That's my point, is that you're bringing them into your sphere, and your money, when you start spending money on marketing yourself, maybe not 100%, but the majority of it, you should start with the people that you know, the people that you've done transactions with, your sphere of influence. Set them up to where they're getting a gift every quarter, once a year, the anniversary of when they bought their house, have a gift get delivered to their house. Write a thank you card if they do send you somebody with a Starbucks gift card in it.
Oh, and then call them right after you get the referral.
Way.
Yeah.
Did you already say that?
No.
Like, yeah, as soon as that person calls
7
you,
levels of communication.
yeah,
Yep, I have that in my
turn around
voicemail.
and you call the person who referred, and you just tell them how much you appreciate it. And
Trace it all the way back, because
Well,
that's how you're going to
I always try to make them think about their kids, because I would say something like, hey, if you didn't send me that business this month, like, I may not have been able to feed my kids, so I really, really appreciate it. And they're going to think about, oh, I like to feed my kids too. Oh, you're so welcome. So try to get on their,
or they're going to think that Casey's trying to guilt me, man. What the heck?
yeah,
But I'll
final
tell
send you
you,
business.
I grouped this together kind of on purpose because I already feel like a little bit overwhelmed potentially just talking to all those people and keeping up with all of that. And tell me if you guys disagree. Curtis, you and I just went to an event, and like every single time I go and listen to a top producer that's made it, and they're doing 100 deals a year, whatever.
I wouldn't even say that they've made it.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They always talk about how unorganized they are, and they don't have time to stop and put systems in place and be
They're
organized.
stuck. They're
stuck.
They're handcuffed.
And to me, what we talked about, it's so important to get organized. You don't have to have everything figured out, because there's a lot to organize, but very simple tasks like going to the appointments, you meet somebody, writing notes, and then putting it in your CRM of when to follow up with them.
Take the time to put systems in place, please.
Did you know how much money you lose?
You
So
lose a
much.
ton, but then
you're
you
turning
also,
away business you don't even know you're turning away.
Until you see on
Yes.
Facebook that they bought a house.
Right.
and my biggest thing is I don't want to prospect forever. I mean, we're constantly prospecting.
People should be thinking that, and they don't think long term like that, Brooke, and that's part of the problem.
And like, I mean, I totally get it. I love working hard and whatever else, but prospecting, I mean, the whole point of prospecting is to get you to a certain level.
Yep.
Right. And like I said, we're always constantly prospecting regardless. If you're at that level and you have all those people
It
and
just
someone
looks
calls you.
different as
Yeah,
time
it just
goes.
looks different.
Yeah.
But I know I don't want to constantly be meeting new people, convincing them who I am and why they should use me.
Yes.
I want to get to a point where I've already done that. And now the people that call me and refer me are people that I actually like working with. They like working with me and vice versa.
Or it's a stranger, but they trust you immediately because it was recommended by a close friend that they trust.
Yes.
And that's what you guys are trying to build your business to. Again, back to
You're
the referral
leaving
partners.
a trail every time you talk to
Yes.
somebody.
And when you get a referral, I cannot stress how important it is to thank the person who referred you. You got to find out who referred this person to you, okay? And
It went down the wrong pipe.
this is why energy drinks are bad for you. No, and if you guys have ever read the book 7 Levels of Communication, if you haven't,
You should read
you
it.
got to go read it. But something I always recommend when you're networking for referrals, you have got to trace the lineage back to the very first person that you worked with or that you had a relationship with.
You
So
should
when
just
you-
trace your business in general.
The whole thing, and I again cannot stress enough how important it is to pick up the phone. Don't just text. Don't just send a thank you card and leave it at that. Pick up the phone, make a phone call, and say, "Hey, I just want to let you know you referred Tom to me. Thank you so much. That meant everything." You can take Casey's approach and say, "Because of people like you, I'm able to do the job that I love. I'm able to support my family, and I just want I'm going to send you a gift card in the mail as my to show you my appreciation." And then whoever referred you, Tom, hopefully somebody referred you that person, and you can call. The further back it goes, the better it is, because if you can call the third or fourth person in the referral line and you can say, hey, by the way, I know you have no clue who Susie is, but you referred me Karen, and Karen referred me Susie. Susie
Yes.
referred me Tom. I just sold a house because you referred me Karen 3 years ago. So I just want you to know that one referral, I want you to know how big of an impact it had on my life, on my family, on my business. Thank you so much. I'm going to send you a little gift in the mail because of what you did for me and my family 3 years ago. The power that has on that person and their loyalty to you as an agent goes a long way. I have a neighbor in my neighborhood, obviously.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. We're actually really good friends with her now and her husband. And she was out walking with her family, and we were just outside and playing in our front yard with our kids. And they stopped, and we got to chatting, and somehow the topic of real estate came up. Surprise, surprise.
Curtis
And
did that.
it actually wasn't me. It actually wasn't me. But if it starts, I'm going to keep it going.
Oh, of course.
And she talked about how she had a realtor, and I'm thinking like, well, now that we're really good friends, you better use me as your realtor, or our company. If you ever do get to the point where you're going to sell your house or buy an investment property or whatever, well. When I was talking to her, I got the sense that wasn't going to happen because her realtor, she gets a gift from her realtor on the anniversary of the day that they bought their house every single year like clockwork. She gets a card on every holiday, every tiny little holiday.
Is it the realtor that farms your neighborhood very well?
Not that one, no.
Oh, okay.
But
you got some tough
That's
competition
another
in
enemy.
your
Yeah.
neighborhood.
It's crazy the neighborhood I live in, like what happens. But this agent, even on like national, I mean not the little ones where it's like National Cookie Day, but like every holiday, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, Memorial, they just get a card in the mail. They get a gift on the anniversary of when they bought the house, and they get a card on every single holiday, okay? And because of that, I even asked her, I said, gosh, it's almost like you would feel guilty not using her. And she says, yes, I would.
Yeah.
Like she has done so much for us and has given so much to us. Like it's almost like I have to use her. And so I was like, well, dang, that sucks. There's almost
But you can
nothing I
respect
can
that.
do. I can respect it, but
And
it also taught me I need to be doing that.
Yeah.
And we need to be telling our agents to do that. And there's services out there like Client Drive. There's another local one that we I can't remember their name.
I found another cool one too.
We'll have them come in. They actually gave me a free cutting board. But super nice guy.
Charcuterie.
And it was a charcuterie board.
There's another point too that I want to make to that, like just tracking your business in general, because we're talking about a path to 100K. Well, how do you continue your 100K after you make 100K in a year? Because I've seen many agents that have totally made 100K their first year, and then they don't make anything after that.
They're content, yeah.
Yeah, so tracking your business in general, and I think I just learned this from just being in the retail world, because where you get your business.
This episode is brought to you by Rain.
No, don't. Quit giving free sponsors out.
In case he's coughed. But as you got to track where you get your business. Not only who gave it to you, but did you get an open house? Did you
track
do it
all
in a
mine.
FSBO? Did you do an expired? Right? Yeah, I learned this from you, and it made sense. Well, then I also went to a coaching thing, and they were talking about it, and everybody in the room was so lost. So finally, I just stood up and I just started talking to everybody about it and the importance of it, because if you go make 100K that year, and then the next summer comes up, right? Well, we all know summer is a big month for us to sell homes, right?
Right.
So, but if you look at what you're tracing and you see, okay, well, last June I did this many open houses, I went to this many FSBOs and this many expireds, and I made this amount of money. Well, if you don't look at those things and keep doing those activities, especially within your first few years, then that right there, that's just solid knowledge to just know what you need to do and where you can grow from there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Because I I came from the grocery store, right? But we had holidays, right? Thanksgiving, Christmas, everyone knows about it. Okay, well, it's my job to make sure that the store never ran out of turkeys. And every little tiny thing, right? Or else my sales go down overall. So I had to have data to look at and read and see what numbers I have so I knew what to do or knew what to order or whatever in order to make those sales or grow my sales more.
I'm going to give you a real world application with real estate, and to that point, and I'm going to shout out Tina Pastron. We listened to her talk last week, and something that stuck with me was on this topic right there is that her first year, she's new to real estate within a few years, and she's already made a huge name for herself and
$500,000
crushing it in the real estate game. Her first year, she sold 50 houses. Now she's probably doubled that the next year, and then investing in her own properties and things like that. But what she realized is that her first year, 25 to it was like 25%, I think, of her business came from for sale by owners and expireds, and then like 50% came from open houses, or is what I think she said. Well, as she started making money and things were going well, she stopped doing those things.
Yep.
And she failed to realize, she's since has realized it, and she told us she realized it, but she stopped doing open houses, and she was like, half of my income that I made came from open houses. That is a lead producing machine.
And she hadn't been doing it long enough to catch the repeats yet.
Right. And so her business kind of fell off a little bit until she realized, I need to be doing an open house. And she now is like, you guys, you need to be doing open houses every weekend, twice a weekend if you can, every day if you can.
She's like, that's money.
It's money that you are leaving on the table if you don't go get it.
Yeah, and if you don't
only because she knew where her business came from was she able to recognize that.
Yeah, and it's like, even if you sat 2 hours every day, well, if you work a regular job, you're working 8 hours a day. That 2 hours a day, even if no one comes in, you still have organization to work on.
There's
You got
always
systems to
you
put
got
in place.
Man,
Yeah.
open houses for me, like, they go by way too fast because I've got too much to do,
yeah.
and I don't get it all done. So it's
Yeah.
like I'm never just sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, organization in general is probably, to me, is the hardest part because there's so many tiny details that you need to remember to make yourself successful. I mean, it's not that hard if you can put in your daily routine and you go to the appointment, you have your CRM and you have your CRM set up and you immediately put in your notes and your tasks, then you're fine for the most part.
Do you know what I always have on me
What?
besides my multi-tool?
Oh my gosh.
My computer.
Yeah.
And my wife loves my multi-tool. It comes in handy. But you have to be attached to this thing.
Yeah.
Because that's where, I mean, your phone or whatever, your device where you do all of your organization, your research. Like, I see so many agents and I hear them say things like, well, when I get back to my office or when I get back to my schedule, I'm like, dude,
do it now.
Schedule it now and it's done.
Yeah. Then you don't
You're
have to
just
think about
putting
it.
off work, and then later you've got to do all that scheduling, and your odds of forgetting actually go up.
Now, I will say I will use that, but that's an excuse when I don't want to get it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'll get back with you later on that.
But yeah, if it's important, then get it on the books immediately.
It was like yesterday. It was like when Brad was in here, he was.
I knew this was coming.
Yeah, so
I was almost like, don't say names, but it's not a big deal.
It's not, no, and it was a good story because he says, Casey, how do I find investment properties for my investor? I said, why don't you go show 1120 Oak Hill Drive? And he's like, what? And he's like, well, let me write it down. I go, no, dude, just look it up on your computer and call your investor right now. And he did, and then he went and showed the house within like 3 hours. He met the investor out there.
Yeah.
It didn't end up being for him, but like he was showing a house because he asked me one question, and he was going to write it down and do it at another time.
Yeah.
And that's what I see a lot of people doing is I'll do that later. I can do that tomorrow.
Finish the whole task. I mean,
Right.
I do it too sometimes, and then I'm like, damn it.
Well,
Why
it
did I
can't be
do that?
perfect, and there's only so much time. So
Well, like if you go to an appointment, like one of the best things, if you go to an appointment, when you go into your car, before you even start your car, unless it's freezing or really hot outside, before you even start your car, do your updates. Do it, write it down or something really quickly. Because most of the time we're on the go. We're in a fast-paced world. So just do it then, because then, I mean, I know I form a lot of anxiety in this industry for no reason because of silly little tasks like that. So if you just get it done right away, then I'm not thinking about it. Then the client sees that I'm valuable, and I'm probably doing it better than 99% of agents out there because they wait till the or they wait and whatever else.
So we've been talking a lot about the bullet points. Let's touch on, since we've been talking for a while, let's touch on why it's so important to be able to manage your finances when you're on the path to 100K. What would you guys say
Well, before
is an important
that,
part?
should we talk about training and prospecting first? Because that's like the meat of it all.
I mean, I mean, I feel like we've kind of touched on that a little bit. We can touch on it some more.
The only thing I was gonna say is like the balance of it.
Yeah,
and I don't think people
talk about it real quick.
I don't think people think about this, and like whether you're new or you're trying to get up and going. This real estate's forever changing. You should forever be at training.
You should always be learning and training.
Like,
yes,
I tell our agents, I'm like, well, I'm an owner of the company. I may have a different reason why I'm here. But at the end of the day, I'm here at Saturday training because I'm also learning as well.
Well, you didn't become an owner of the company because you just stayed away from training.
Oh yeah, I came to training every Saturday.
You showed up. You got yourself involved. So I mean, that went a long way.
I think this is like a huge thing. People think they have to do all of the training first before they do the prospecting, and you cannot do that. Yes, you can do some training and get some knowledge, because I'm totally the person, like, I don't like going out there and I will not be confident unless I know somewhat
That
of
would
some
be
things,
like,
right?
What's like the fastest mile someone runs? Is it like 6 minutes? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm just gonna make it up.
Way faster than that.
Okay, so it'd be like I'm not gonna run a mile until I know I can do it in 4 minutes.
Right.
Like, that's the mindset. Like,
Yes.
I can't. Well, you can't do it until you run it in 10.
And you can't do
until
that.
you practice and practice.
And
And
in real
sometimes you
estate-
learn and you get experience from experience.
Exactly, because I always argue, I don't care how many training classes you go to, they cannot teach you everything in 1 hour, in 3 CE hours, in 12 slides, or even if it had 50 slides, or you watch 50 YouTube videos on it. You cannot get enough training. You have to go out and prospect and do both at the same time.
I would argue that even if there was a training class that was 2 hours long,
It
or
would have to
even an
be like-
hour. Let's say this. Let's say even if there was a class that taught you everything. I'm talking like
How to deal with emotions.
Obviously, this is unrealistic.
Yeah.
But if there was a class that taught you every detail,
Every
if
scenario.
whether it's an hour or it had to be 8 hours or whatever. But there was something out there that taught you everything. Okay, number one, you're going to have to retain all of that information without having practiced it, right? And even if you put all of it and you have a photographic memory, or you just have an amazing memory when it comes to things, you're going to get caught off guard when you go and start prospecting and talk to people. And
Yes.
until you go embarrass yourself, or until you go screw up, or get shut down, told no, you're always going to have the fear of how do I do this? What should I do? When should I do it? And until you go out there and realize, oh, that really wasn't that bad.
Well,
I'm going to keep going.
You also gotta kind of learn some things
Yeah.
too, because like I've had situations, not like a ton, but situations where I've gone and asked for advice, and everyone gave me advice, and then I go into the client, and that advice didn't work because of the emotion. Because at the end of the day, no one actually understands everything in that moment.
And one client here with this kind of attitude, and one client here is
Every
a different kind of
emotion's
storm,
different,
and
yeah.
it's different every time.
Everyone's different.
everyone
There's
is-
introverts, extroverts.
There's different motivation. There's different
Depends what
Yeah.
There's different problems that you have to try to solve. Some people are moving because of a job. Some people are moving because of a divorce. Some people are moving because they just got married. Some people are moving because they grew their family. It's all
They
different.
put you in these impossible situations. It's like one of my clients that she, I hope she doesn't listen to this, but she quits her job, then calls a realtor, which was me, thankfully.
Yeah.
Then calls me and says, I quit my job. I have 2 months of income. Get me out of here in 2 months, but I want top dollar and I don't want to do any repairs.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, this is all psychological.
Yeah.
And then I had to end up going and doing a sit down with her, because every day she was like, are you going to sell my house? Are you going to sell my house? Like, she was panicking.
Yeah.
And I said, I went and sat down with her because I want to do this on the phone. And basically, in so many words, I was just like, hey, like, you put me in a really tough position, because I want to help you, but yet you quit your job before you even call the realtor to find out what the realistic terms were.
Yeah.
And I was like, now we're put in a situation where you might have to go back to work or whatever the situation is. And I asked, could you go get a job? Like, I shouldn't have to be doing that
Right.
for a grown up,
Yeah.
But it was funny because I was like, look, this is how it works. And one day, like, I just sold a house where I had like no activity on it, and then on the 66th day, which used to be very normal, a buyer came by and bought it within that day, gave full price.
Yep.
And what was funny about this one in particular, the very next day, that same thing happened. This was just the other day. We got a full price offer.
Wait, from the lady from this person?
Yeah, remember when I told you I had to go to her house?
No,
to talk to her?
I knew you were talking about it. I didn't know that you got an offer on
Yeah,
it.
the
though.
very next day.
Oh,
I
that's
told her,
pretty
I said,
cool.
it'll be out of nowhere. It just happens like that. I don't know if it's going to be on day, 15 or day 65. And she's like, I don't have 65 days. And I'm like,
That's not, that's that.
but it's,
you
but
should
the
have
comps say
planned.
60 to 90,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
But even, you said she's a doctor?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, but even doctors, right? Comparing them to real estate agents, they go to school for years
10
on
10
years,
years.
right? But still, why is it an educated guess most of the time if you go into the doctor? Sounds very harsh, but I mean that's what it is. They
Or
do the
they're
same
gonna-
thing.
guaranteed.
They do the same thing too. They go and they sit down in school, they do training, they do all of
They
that.
draw blood, they
and
stick you with
then
needles.
they go do
Yeah.
clinicals so they
Yeah.
can learn and practice what's going on.
Yeah.
But still at the end of the day, they don't know until you gain the experience
doing
and
it,
everything
yeah.
and learning different people and whatever else. So
Okay, let's. I
Finances.
think that was really good stuff. I'm glad we talked about it. So this episode doesn't get too long. Let's talk about the importance of managing your finances. I think that goes without saying too much, but I want to make a point. If you're a realtor out there and you are new to producing at a high level, if this is your first year to do it, please, if you get anything from this, okay,
anything more than what, 50K? Or just in general.
I would just say in general,
yeah.
put money away for your taxes. You are self-employed
and slow months.
and for slow months too. You got to manage
Or slow
those times,
year.
because if you have a 20K month, you got to budget. You got to you got to budget for what your monthly expenses are. And just because you made like 15, 20K over that, doesn't mean you got to go spend it, because real estate is, you're going to go through cycles. I cannot stress that enough. Whether it's your own activities that's causing you to go through a cycle, or
Yeah.
whether it's the market
Or
That's
both.
why
that
they
causes
say,
you, or both.
that's why they do the 5 years. Agents, 87% of agents fail within 5 years. Why is that? Because they talk about it takes 5 years for, what is it, like a full market to
To go
happen?
through a full
full
cycle
cycle?
of a good market to a bad market. You got to go through
Yes.
both cycles to see the impact of
Yeah.
people getting their license.
And that doesn't even include recessions.
Because
if
if
you end up in
you're
one of those.
right,
Yeah.
if you are, well, kind of, I mean, they're saying a down market. Real estate in general goes through those,
Right.
but a recession, it may not
Some
go
will go a
way
little
down.
deeper, yeah.
But
2022 is-
you could have gotten your license in 2020, like maybe 3/4 through 2020, and been part of this huge skyrocket in the market. Well, until you've experienced that low, you don't know if you're gonna make it through. You got to get through a
Yeah,
tough time.
people were catching deals like COVID in 2020.
I
dude.
know, right? Yeah.
Oh,
Just standing
I
next to
always
somebody,
joke.
and it was like they're
Yeah,
buying
it's
a
like, oh, I
house.
got a buyer.
Right.
I always joke. I'm a 2020 baby, so I'm like, I'm a COVID baby. I need help. I have to negotiate a TRR.
Yeah.
My house actually won't sell.
It's funny because
What's wrong with it?
And it's so true, because like there was a time where like 1 month I made $60,000, 1 month I made 30 grand, and then maybe then the next 3 I made like 7 or 8, and then it's like. And then the next year, it's like not the same. And I started thinking, oh, maybe this is like the new normal. Maybe I'm going to make an average of 30, 40K a month.
Yeah.
And then it didn't continue.
Oh yeah. Same for me.
Because of like a lot of the things that we discussed, right? You get comfortable, you got the money,
Stop
so
your activities. You don't grow your downline or your business. Like all sorts of things could happen. But staying consistent, putting systems in place, building your business. Don't just focus on your own production, because your own production is limited. There's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And
There's only
at the
so
end
much
of
you
the
can
day,
do.
I just want to ask a question. At the end of the day,
it's not the end of the day, though.
No, I don't care. I said at the end of the day.
It's a phrase, all right, Casey?
Fine.
Yeah, I'm with you now. See?
Thank you.
I gave you that one.
Screw you. You want to come share my couch with me?
Yeah. but I don't want to move my mic.
I'll move it for you. I'm just kidding. At the end of the day, what is our main job? Well, main job as a realtor to be successful is to do what? Get more sales, more house sales. So in order to do that, if there's only a limited amount of time, then you have to go either recruit or get a buyer's agent or do whatever else to multiply multiple deals.
Yeah, there's some really
Money-making
solid
activities.
There's some really solid teams around the area that we know of that I'm not going to advertise their name because they're
Brook Massey?
competition. No, but I mean, ideally, what you want to do is like you just want to go on appointments every day.
Well, so
everything else should be paid for.
to
right?
Brooke's point earlier in the episode, she said that we went and listened to a panel of top producers, and that's not the only panel. We've been to other panels where every top producer, when you hear them speak, they have just complete chaos in their life. They're not organized. They have no systems in place, but yet they're perceived as these top dogs in the industry.
Well, they do have systems, but it's like, but then I work with them and I'm like,
But even they talk about not having systems. Like it's very chaotic. They say that their business is just a complete mess. Like it's not organized in any way.
I've dealt with those.
But I think that's my point is. Let me get my point.
What's your point?
My point is that if you have a choice, if your choice is go do money making activities or organize your business, they're choosing to just do the money making activities.
Oh yeah, because a lot of people come in and they're like instantly they want to make $500,000 a year for sure, right? I know I came into this and I was making probably about $80,000 a year when I quit my job, and then I made 120 or 130 my first year, and I was okay with that. I wanted to still make more money, but I knew sitting down and getting my systems in place before I got to that level
was going to be how you got further.
Yes,
well,
because
and
now
it never
I see
stops
those.
as you grow. Oh, you have to refine, but you shouldn't have to start over.
Correct, because I would lose my mind.
Here's my thing on real estate in general, because I believe that we're put here to serve others, and then the other side, I see people all it's just all about the money, and I think that it gives the industry a bad name, but it does give the other agents like, ooh, I want to be like them. But I hear this all the time, like, well, I called this agent because they were the top agent, and after they left my house, I never heard from them again.
Yes.
And so, like, I think that now that can be okay, that could be your model, but obviously that wasn't communicated,
right?
Or the person didn't appreciate it, even if it was communicated. And so I think the service has to be first.
Absolutely.
And then if you can grow a giant business around treating people right, that's a recipe for success forever.
It's how you make
and working
people
with
feel.
good people, you will surround yourself with good people. We talk about our culture and the type of people that we attract to our brokerage. Like I was just telling Brooke last night, if we wanted to just focus on just like getting as many agents as we can and not caring about the culture, we could. I mean, we could just say, here's the highest split imaginable. Here is all this free stuff that we're going to give you, and but there's no value in that.
No.
And then when they come in, they're coming in under the concept of free stuff, high splits. You're giving me everything other than actual value of I care about you and I want to grow your business, which creates no loyalty,
which drives
no
me
relationship.
Boggles my mind.
I know.
Why would you bring somebody on and not want them to be successful?
It's
a numbers game, and they're charging monthly fees, so they don't care if you produce if they're charging monthly fees.
Well, it's a numbers game, I think, for buying and selling to a certain degree.
Well, with
but
agents
I feel
too. No, with agents too, because if I go get 1,000 agents, like even if that agent is not successful, they're going to be able to sell one or two houses a year, possibly, right?
Yeah, but I don't like that.
I don't either.
Is what I'm saying. Like, why would you, instead of doing that? That to me, that's not a numbers game. I mean, it is to a certain extent, right? To a certain extent. But at the end of the day, I think bringing somebody on and spending the time and giving them the value, I think that's going to make somebody way more money.
That creates a stronger relationship, a stronger culture, more loyalty. The other business strategy is just a numbers game where if I have more bodies, then I'm going to get more market share just by the one or two deals that they do. We can
do both?
I mean, I wouldn't want to because then it destroys what we're all about.
No, like do both. Like get a bunch of numbers, but they're all quality people.
I think that might be is it dichotomy? What is the word? Like I don't know if that goes together. If you really,
Best of
if you
both
really,
worlds.
yeah, if you really put, like think about it. I mean, yeah, we want to do that, but we want to make it quality. It's just not going to be like.
Not like 10,000, but you know.
No, we can get to 10,000. We can get to 20,000, and it be quality. But you're only going to do that if you keep the foundation of the culture as the priority, and not try to win people to your brokerage through incentivizing them through money.
Yes,
if you incentivize
100%.
people through money, that's when you completely lose any type of culture or loyalty or value.
And it's just pure greed.
And then then it's just
It's
pure.
just a money
It's just about
grab.
the money, because that means it's just about the money for you as the brokerage, and then it's just about money for the agent, and that's okay if that's what people want it to be about.
Yeah.
You know, but that's what we're competing with, and you know if an agent is only about the money and that's it, then they're probably not even going to be a good fit in our culture anyways.
Yep.
You know, for what we're trying to do.
I agree.
So,
I think that's pretty good. So
yeah.
just be organized,
Be
do
consistent.
prospecting and training, be consistent, watch your finances, track your stuff, and just do it every single day.
and then you'll get a ring.
And then you get a ring.
You got
What's
your ring
that?
on, Casey?
No, it's my backpack.
I see Brooke has hers on.
Yeah.
Mine's too heavy. It's got too many diamonds on
We're
it.
talking about
So
road
I-
to 100K today. You don't even have your ring
I have
on. Just kidding.
You're right.
I'm proud
Don't.
that I worked this hard to get the ring, but also too there's a soreness from sports back in the day, and I've been this close way too many times to get my own ring in multiple
But
sports.
now you got it.
I've got-
Exactly.
This is
And I'm
your-
like,
this is
screw
what
it all.
I've
yeah.
got one from baseball.
This is more important than sports because sports ended.
I know,
This
but
is
still it's
forever.
good memories and like
I would have wanted a ring
Bad
in sports
heartbreaks,
too. I
so.
would have wanted a ring in sports too. I never won a ring, and I always ended up. I think I went 3 or 4 years in a row of coming second place, of losing the championship game and college intramurals.
oh yeah. Damn, okay.
Yeah.
Mine was high school basketball. We were our girls team were really good, and the team that ended up winning state, we had a terrible game in quarterfinals. Terrible game, and we would have won. We smoked the people that
would
won.
have been next.
Uh-huh.
Oh man.
And then cheerleading multiple times. So
Yeah, it does stink, but now is your chance to change all of that.
oh, that's why I always wear my ring like all
Yeah.
the time. People always they're like, "Is that heavy?" I'm like, "I'm used to it. Now. I
Yeah,
don't really
yeah,
care.
it
I
is.
feel like I've been working my whole life for this."
It is, but
Lightweight to carry, but I
I'm
can do
strong
it.
enough to carry it.
I
baby.
won the real estate Super Bowl. Okay.
Heck yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, people know I didn't win a sport when I wear mine. They're like, "Why are you wearing that ring?
Did
You obviously didn't win the Super Bowl."
Like, yeah, look at you.
Yeah, look at you.
Like you played
you were really
sports.
good.
Yeah, I
That's
did.
not a sports ring.
That's right.
you were really good at baseball, though, right?
Yeah, I was. I was a pitcher, and now
Oh,
my
shoot.
arm will forever hurt because
Oh,
of
I
it.
bet. My knees
Well,
hurt.
you should have
and crap.
thrown with your legs, man.
Shoulda. I shoulda.
Big. What kind of coach did you have?
So I played with all my friends when I was younger, and then I pitched against the number one team, and I beat them because basically I threw a no hitter, and so they
Oh.
couldn't even hit on me that game. So then they asked me, and I was so tired of losing. And because if they did get a hit off of me at the time, like they would just run the bases because my team sucked so bad.
Yeah.
And so that team though was like, "Hey, do you want to come pitch for us?" And I said, "Sure." And so then I took the coach's son's pitching position.
Oh, shoot.
And he didn't really like me because he got moved. And
He was the coach. He didn't have to. Oh, you're the
coach's son.
He didn't
Yeah.
like you. The son didn't like
yeah,
you.
and so his name is Josh, and I just remember him really well because he didn't care for me. But and
Josh,
then
if you're watching this and you're a realtor, we still want you, man.
that's right. I'll probably beat you, but that's okay. And then that next year we won first place.
Nice.
Took it.
Would you rather?
Oh, snap.
Would you rather?
You got one?
Win just from this. Would you rather win a championship? At some point through your high school days,
Okay.
and then not that these are connected, but then in life you're average with business and whatever career you do. Now you're comfortable, you're able to provide your family, but you're just middle of the road? Or would you rather always come up second, but then in life that lesson of losing put a chip on your shoulder or caused you to just push harder, and now and you succeed and thrive tremendously? In
They're not supposed
business
to
and
be
life.
that deep, Curtis.
Well, I'm going to
I
say
think
the
it's an easy
second one
answer.
because that's how my
Like
life
what we're
happened.
doing, yeah. Well, and I think
I was
that,
second place at everything until now.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's relative.
And being second is not bad. Even if you're like
No.
if you're number 2 in the Fortune 500, I'll take it.
If you're
Yeah.
not first, you're last.
I'll be last in the Fortune if I'm
Yeah,
still
we-
on the Fortune 500.
yeah. If you're a millionaire, who cares?
Touche, touche.
I mean, at this point in your life, there will always be someone richer.
Oh, yeah.
and I don't really care about that.
It
I just
doesn't-
want to provide a good living, and I want to help people and create a good family.
I would love to know how Warren Buffett operates every day. Like, is he still working like 8, 10, 12 hours a day?
I would imagine so.
You know, just always going into the office.
don't know.
And maybe he just really loves it. I don't know. But
At that point, that's when you like walking with
Man,
a crane, you sit down and
give
just
me-
be like, you're out of breath.
give
and
me
you just
10 or
tell
20
people
mil,
what to
and,
do.
and
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to be coming to the office
But you
anymore.
we say that, you gotta remember though, the people that
I would get bored.
The people that get to 10 or 20 mil,
I would not get bored.
You say that, but in order for you to get 10 or 20 mil, it's going to require you to do something and accomplish something. And the people that end up getting there are the people that don't know how to stop, right? Or
Right.
they don't know how to just relax and do nothing.
I'll join a
right?
baseball league. I'll go to the gym every day. I'll probably build a giant music studio and have musicians come in and record.
I think real estate's
like,
just or working's just my
None of that
hobby,
stuff
so.
to me, I would necessarily care about making money, because if I had the money to do it, I wouldn't care about making it.
Yeah, but you gotta do something to get to make that money,
Yeah.
and you gotta keep that going in order to keep those hobbies
Sure.
going. I just don't think that. I think that we've been like, I don't want people to get the impression even America in general has lied to us.
Like
in
the
that-
concept of
in
retirement,
that
yeah.
and that we can get to a point where we can just stop doing everything and still make millions of dollars. I just don't think life works that way. I think
No.
you still have to constantly keep up with whatever it is that. Now you could get lucky and you
Like
could
mowing your yard.
win the lottery, or you could have a business that's very, very passive, but you can't just ignore that business that's passive, because you could always lose it.
Yeah.
You have to always keep your eye on the ball, and you got to always be consistent and work.
Mm-hmm.
Work does not go away. I mean, we are built to work. We should always think that we're going to have to work at some capacity. You know,
I do
even
some
when we
gardening, too.
retire.
Well, and I just listened to our first podcast last night, and Casey was talking about farmers and stuff. Like, what did they do?
Yeah.
They constantly
Mindset of abundance versus scarcity.
Yeah, but they constantly work. That's what farmers do. They wake up every morning, and that's what people used to do back in the day.
Yeah.
Everybody farmed. We didn't have different things like this. They didn't even probably think about retirement. They just know that they have chickens out there they need to go tend to, and then cut the wheat.
Yeah,
this
and what
week.
what weenies have we become, right? Because it's
Seriously.
like now,
It's like we feel
if,
like it's
if the
entitled to
weatherman
that.
even says it's going to rain, people don't even come to the office because they don't want to get wet.
Yeah.
And it's like if you're
The
on a
traffic's going to
farm,
be bad because it's raining, but
Yeah.
really it's not, because nobody gets out.
Yes.
right? Yeah, if you're on the farm, you'd be feeding those animals, getting soaking wet. If you have a stomach bug,
And you don't think about those things. So it's like the perception again of people just thinking that, and it's like just
Work ethic has
just
declined,
stop.
and technology is making it easier for work ethic to decline, which is why I think there's opportunity for people who want to work to build something for
yeah,
themselves.
the future's in tech, man.
Any other would you rather?
Yeah, I
before
got
we
a good
sign
one,
off?
actually.
Okay, go for it.
Would
Mine was
you-
kind of not too good. Is it easy? Everybody, I think
Hey,
everybody would choose
I
option
like
two.
to. Yeah, I chose an option though.
I know that's why it makes it. It wasn't a good one,
Yeah.
because you were able.
Because
if Brooke
the
can
thing is-
choose, it's not good.
Right, so we want to give one that she can't choose on, and then give her shit for it.
Yes.
Ah, got
That's
you.
the goal.
No, if Brooke can't decide, then we know it's a good would you
right,
rather.
right.
Yes.
But then it
Okay.
allows us to give her.
I'm glad that you guys
still wanted
need
to
my
choose.
opinion to judge how
Yeah,
good
we still wanted to
how
choose.
good this question is or
Yes.
not.
Okay,
Yes.
would you rather have a personal maid
Ooh,
or a personal chef?
chef,
Chef.
100%. I actually like cleaning, and
So-
I hate
so you got-
figuring out what to eat.
Here's
I
the thing:
hate it.
you got it, but you got to clean all of his dishes.
I
Out.
don't care.
That's fine.
I will. I love cleaning.
What if he or she destroys your kitchen?
I don't
That's
care.
fine. As long if they're meal prepping for me and all the stuff I need, like to be healthy, like
Yeah.
I just know that health is you have nothing without health. If you can have all the money in the world, if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. And so eating right is a big part of that. And so if I had somebody to manage that part of my life, bring it on.
I mean, I
Well,
guess
let's
I'll
hire
clean as
our
much as
chef.
I'll clean as much as I have to.
We'll hire a chef together because I've already said like once I get to a certain level, because that's once you start making good money, that's what most people do. They care about their
Health.
their health overall and self care just in general.
Yeah.
So because it goes a long way. So I would totally have a chef if I didn't have to think about eating or when I needed to eat or even think about any kind of concept of that in general. I like to grill.
I'm actually
smoke,
torn on
but-
this one. I'm very torn on this one. However, and I will pick, but cleaning can give me satisfaction. Like if I'm
Yeah.
on my yard, I can get the satisfaction for that. However, there's other things in my life I can get satisfaction from. But I'm very artistic and creative, so I do like to cook and I like to feed people when
get
I
that.
I
do
don't think
cook.
it means that you can't do those things anymore. Just which one would you rather have for that to have take over when you need it?
Yeah, because to me, cleaning is kind of artistic to me because I guess my
Well,
cleaning's
if
different.
we
I
got to
clean
give
and
one
redecorate
up,
too.
if we got to give one up, I
Okay.
think I would choose cooking so I don't lose that outlet of creativity.
You would give up cooking and
No, I would cook
you would cook and have someone clean for
Yeah.
you. Okay, gotcha.
because that's just mundane.
Well,
whatever.
But
do you
don't-
know what we learned
I
from
also
this?
want one.
What did we
both.
learn?
We learned from this that this was not a good would you rather because Brooke was so easily
That's
decisive
true.
on it.
But I was kind of in the middle on that one.
I
But
will
that's
say
okay.
though,
That's
yeah.
not the
Remember,
deterrent.
I
That
cooked you
does not
breakfast that one time.
Oh, you're a fantastic cook.
I
Yes.
will say though that you just hit my like pet peeve on because for no matter what group of people I'm with, I always have to pick where to eat, and it drives me nuts. And I'm always the one that's hungry,
I don't mind
and
that.
I don't really care. Just
I'll
feed
pick.
me.
Most people are like afraid to pick. They're like, what do you
I
want?
know, and I'm the kind of person I'm like, oh my gosh, why? Everyone's like, I don't know, you pick, and I'm like, we're going to freaking McDonald's.
I don't
They're
get
like,
Because I
that.
just want to pick.
Yeah, but then they're like, oh, I don't want that.
And I'm like, I don't care, you didn't pick, you
Yeah,
said
like
pick.
you said you didn't care. You didn't know what
I
you
was-
wanted.
So it's always my biggest pet peeve. I just want to get it over with. 'Cause I can't
Claire
stand it.
has gotten hangry over the years, and she's actually gotten better. But if she got hungry, she'd be so mad. And so one time she was really hungry. We're driving. She goes, "We need to get something to eat." I said, "What do you want?" She goes, "I don't care. Just feed me." I said, "Okay, how about Wendy's?" She said, "No, I'm not eating that." And I said, "Okay, well, how about Arby's?" Because it was just like right there. And she's like, "No." I'm like, "Well, you need to pick." And she was like getting really mad. And I was like, "You ever
was
thought
just
about maybe like putting a snack in your drawer at work so you're not this angry at me?" And she's like, "How dare you suggest that I put a snack in my drawer?" And then we went to counseling the next week. We were talking about her being hangry. She's like, "Yeah, I get really hangry when I'm hungry." And the therapist said,
Put a
"Maybe you
snack.
should try putting some snacks in your drawer at work."
Did you guys laugh?
Yeah, we were dying because he said the exact same thing, and then she did. She went and put some
nice.
like granola bars and stuff in there.
Brittany
Oh,
just
wow.
knows. She's just like last night. She's like, we're having spaghetti for dinner. I'm like, sweet. And then she's like, hope it was good because we're having it tomorrow too. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I love good leftovers, man.
yeah.
I'm like, that is my love language.
Claire,
you just
Claire
tell me what we're
cooks.
eating. and
Claire
we're
cooks all the
eating.
meals now, and she was really bad at it when we first got married because I did it all. She'd never really cooked a lot.
Oh yeah.
And then as I started getting busy in real estate, she really didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
So it was bad. And she'll admit it to this day. But now it's like she's actually cooking some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, hey, look, if you don't want to cook, don't.
Yeah.
Like I'll feed myself. We'll make the kids peanut butter and jellies. Like
I like those kind of nights
you've
sometimes.
never
Oh, me too.
cereal for dinner.
Yeah.
Like it's funny. This is so random, but it's like a lot of times people be like, I've heard guys say this, like, well, I don't care what my wife does as long as dinner's on the table when I get home from work. I'm like, dang, bro, like that's a good
I would
way
totally
to get
be that person
get
if I was a
sla-
guy.
You would
That's a good
because
way to
I
get
just
what?
said.
to get slapped.
By
Your wife.
Oh no, I wouldn't
but
be like
April
that in
and
a
I are very-
disrespectful way.
yeah,
Just
not-
more.
yeah. April and I are very traditional. That's how I don't have to, like I tell her that like if whether dinner's on the table or not doesn't tell me that you love me more. Like she actually she takes that identity on for
Yeah,
herself.
she wants to feed her family.
Yeah.
Sure, that's fine.
She grew up like very much like I'm gonna learn how to be a good wife, and that's what I want to give to my husband.
Yeah.
And so like she has dinner almost every like we're so we really are the epitome of traditional roles, but that's because that's what we are. That's our like identities. Like I
Yeah.
identify in providing, going to work, and doing all
Sure.
this stuff. She identifies in being a homemaker and raising the kids and cooking and cleaning, and it works for us.
Yeah.
We had to give up some of that idea because if you're in production, it's like sometimes I don't get to come home at dinner time, but
Yeah.
That's always been the biggest struggle.
So then I'm pulling it out of the or I'm eating fast food
Brittany
while
and I are
she's
not
at home
traditional
cooking.
at all.
But well, my whole thing on all
Really?
that.
I never would have guessed.
My whole thing on all that is I don't want her to feel
yet we
pressured
are.
that she has to have the house clean or have to have it cooked, something cooked. But I also don't want the pressure of I have to be
Right,
home at
yeah.
5 o'clock and then I
That's where
have to be home.
communication-
Like,
yes.
communication and flexibility because this is not the old world anymore. This
I've
is
verbalized that stuff, and I
Yeah.
wish that's one
Yeah.
thing April I wish would do better, and we've had these conversations. But like I always tell her, she's like, "Man, I gotta clean tomorrow." I'm like, "Don't."
don't.
It's okay if
and
you
here's the
don't.
thing I've told Claire: if the house gets too dirty for me, I'll clean it.
Right,
But my threshold is just lower than hers.
I know
so
that my
she's going to
threshold's
clean
lower.
before I will.
And I always tell her, like, listen, if you don't do it today, I trust that I know that you're not this lazy person who's going to let it go for weeks on end. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to get it done.
Yeah.
So if you don't feel like doing it today, take the time off. Anyways, we can talk about this all the time. You want to?
I love cleaning. That's why I want to
Yeah,
chef.
you want to wrap up the podcast?
Yeah.
here?
As we come to an end, I want to thank you guys for listening. And if you like our content and want to hear more, give us a like. Then,
Oh, subscribe.
and then
Share.
click the bell, share, comment. Hey, and if you've ever been to a nudist colony, I want to know, and I want to know where you went so I can look it up just for fun.
And if you guys are owners of any businesses and want to sponsor this podcast, we would love that.
Yeah, Rain, McDonald's, you name it. Anyways, appreciate it, guys.
I want
We're
some fruit
signing off.
roll-ups.
What?
Fruit roll-ups.
Fruit Loops are good.
That'd be awesome.
My son chugs on one of those. I'll tell you about it afterwards. I'm Casey Tudor. This is Curtis Haddock and Brooke Massey.